The following stream contains mature language and themes. Subjects that may be disturbing to some individuals will arise. Viewer discretion is advised.
Watching. You're watching. You're always watching. It's not right. Well, hello. So you've come to speak with your boy Twitch yet again this week. Looks like this cohort hired a bear to handle surveillance. No, and I'm not talking, it's not convoy, it's not Smokey Bear. It's an actual bear. Which makes me wonder, does it have the right stuff for the job? They even got to finally meet the big guy. You know, just because you get to find out the lowdown on the murder.
The following stream contains mature language and themes. Subjects that may be disturbing to some individuals will arise. Viewer discretion is advised.
Well, hello there. So you've come to talk with your boy Twitch yet again. Glad we have these talks. You know, it's cold in these streets of Chicago, and with being around Christmas, you'll find not as much of the Christmas spirit as there used to be. But, you know, as bad as it is, it's not nearly as cold as driving a loving friend away into the night. My heart hasn't beat for centuries. And even mine is warmer, has more compassion than that. You know who you are, though You may not. They know who they are. I hope the rest of the stuffed kind can rely on the cell. Become quite a bit fond of my little friend. It's an old saying. Friends don't drive friends off into the night, into the cold winter. Those are words to live by. From your boy Twitch. We'll be talking. And it's just, it's wrong. But, yeah, why would the Pauper King be looking for them? That's not right. That's,
There's no audio, so I'm going to try this again. This is not my night. I'm waiting to see if the audio catches up. I'm telling you, we made it through the first few. I'm like, I need to like limit to 7 episodes because then my technology just kind of goes, yeah.
You got this. We love you. It's going to be okay. We're all right. It's okay. These things happen. It's fine.
You know, I used to put scotch in my coffee and I quit doing that. That's what's wrong.
Yeah. Get some alcohol in you.
Lucky.
You'll be fine.
Welcome to the Onyx Path Twitch channel. I am doing it now. I can't even talk. We're Haunted Chronicles. This is Stuffed. There is an Indiegogo going on right now, kind of like a Kickstarter, but on a different website, for Victorian Mage, a mage game set in Victorian England. Looks very good. Jump in there and hop on that before it's too late and closes out. I think you still got a few days to go. Keep an eye on the schedule that comes up at the end of the stream. It was also shown before. We got a lot of content coming up here on Onyx Path. Some really good shows that are out there, so jump in and see those. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the table. Everyone doing okay tonight? All right. Our player for Rebecca Theron is running a little late this evening. She is going to join us about halfway through. But we're going to pick up where we stopped last week. Everyone had gathered inside, shall we call it the enclave? The compound? The safe hold? The fortress?
Dump.
I mean, the dump?
Safe house.
Right.
Safe house.
We were all gathered at the dump.
Dump works too.
Good dump.
And there was a lot going on, a lot of discussion about various things that had happened. Harley was catching everyone up on her adventures, and they were catching Harley up on their meeting with Mr. Stupico and the rest of Stuffed Kind. When somewhere, apparently a text came into Lovey's cell phone. And when everyone had finished their discussions and came out, they found out that Lovey was gone. Actually, I don't think you guys even got to see the message because I do believe it was deleted. You just saw the phone lying there. So someone deleted the message as well. So we're going to pick up with Penelope hitting the door, looking outside and calling for Lovey.
Lovey? Where are you? And she's just gonna run around, do a really quick scout of the area.
I wish I could do a good Morgan Freeman impression because right now I would do a narrator voiceover. And then she realized Lovey couldn't talk without his phone, so she was yelling for no good reason.
He could hear me and come to me, okay? It's like a dog. You don't just go there on a field and go and just stand there and wait because they can't talk back.
Allow me. And then she realized Lovey could not talk without his phone, so she was yelling for no good reason.
There is a reason, narrator in the sky. God dang it!
You're hired. Oh, it was awesome.
And the whole campaign turned into Stranger Than Fiction.
There you go. No, I want to run a game that way now. Anyway, back to surreality. You look around and sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say if I don't get anything, if I can't hear anything, if I don't see anything, or if I don't even find like a trace of him, she would head back inside and kind of be like, guys, if they didn't, but I feel like they noticed her run off. Because she did shout for him indoors, I think.
Everyone else was headed that way as well, I think. The only one who was taking his time was Bilkins, who apparently had something to do with, but he was headed that way as well. So, and Warren will even make his way over. And little Missy, I'm afraid that if he's gone, you're not going to find any tracks in this because he's not heavy enough to leave a print.
Well, we have cars. I can run. He's not a four-legged creature. He's not fast. He's slow.
Well, which way would you want to go?
God, where would he have gone? Would he have gone back to the pawn shop? Would he have gone back to the alley?
Can't scour the whole city for him.
We could just try. We could just look for him.
Okay, so somebody goes to the pawn shop, somebody goes to the alley. Is that what you're thinking?
We can't have gone far. He only just left, I think.
Okay, well, I'm just saying he's small. If he doesn't want to be found, he's probably not going to be. My question is, why would he leave?
I don't know. I mean, I told him to wait in the tent. I told him nothing bad was going to happen. He's not dumb. He would have known what the conversation was about. But I told him it was okay, and like I wasn't going to let anything happen.
Look, all I heard, he went in the tent. A short bit later, I heard the little phone blippy bleep noise thing that it makes. And then he went out of the tent and hit the door. So I figured maybe one of you guys sent him on a mission or something.
Okay, I'm going to go check his phone. I'll be right back. And I'm going to run and try and grab the phone.
Mm-hmm. Is the phone still laying on the bed? I believe it is. Yep. It's there.
I will pick it up and just start looking through notifications, messages, anything like that. Also, like, to see what he's recently done, to see if maybe he's seen something upsetting or responded to something external.
Well, you can tell that he had been doing some Google searches.
Mm-hmm.
Mainly things about Toy Story and other related things to that, and Disney movies. He seems to have bookmarked a couple of things for a Berenstain Bears kids show. I don't know. Also, there's some zoo footage of live webcams from around the world. Specifically, one zoo in China, and a giant panda or something. So,
did you find the sneezing panda video yet? That's a great one. He would have loved it.
But the rest of it has all. I mean, there's that little bit of play, but the rest of it's all work. I mean, you can see just the speech synthesizer. He actually put in an appointment to remind you guys of the meeting tomorrow with Stepiko.
He's such a good secretary. All right, I'm gonna grab the phone, come outside, see Warren, and I'm just gonna send a text to Lovey for the notification noise. And just is this the noise you heard? Is this
Yep,
sound?
that's it. That's it. Yeah.
There's nothing on here. There's no new messages. Are you certain that was his phone?
I mean, you can do everybody else's, but that's what I heard, and it came from the tent. I used to be a hunter, you know. I'm pretty good at figuring out where these things come from.
I know, thank you. I'm sorry to question you. Anthony, you're good with software. Do you know anything that can bring anything back? Any messages?
Well, I mean, if it's gone, it's gone. But I could try. I mean,
There's not like a recycling bin, like on a phone, like on a computer.
I don't think so, but I'm not sure.
It's something you could always use technology and try to find out.
Then I'm gonna use technology and try to find out.
Using the goggle search engine.
That will be an intellect and computer. While he's playing around with that, Warren comes out and he's kind of and turns around and I don't know. Thought I heard something. I guess not. How did it go, Mr. Reed? Single success on this. I'm afraid he's not finding anything.
Warren, did you hear something?
Yeah, but I don't think. And then from around the back side of the car, you hear a noise. And Warren just kind of stiffens and goes, shit. And this enormous black dog comes around the corner. And Warren just turns around, puts his hands up, and turns his head. And the dog hits him full force, knocks him on his back, and just hangs over his face. He's one of those dogs that just, you know, lots of spit, and it's just dripping down into Warren's face, and Warren's just laying there like, and the dog goes, and something pops out and falls on Warren's face. And he's
What was spat out?
Are you going to walk over and look at it?
Yeah.
You walk over, and in his hand, he is holding a small figurine. It's like the shape of a person, very roughly done. And it looks like it's carved in salt, you know, the really hard rock salt.
Okay. Is this your dog, Warren?
No.
Whose is it?
It belongs to Sage. She's agreed to meet with you.
Do you know if this dog is a sniffer dog? Can follow scents?
This dog is a drooler dog. His
Which
name is
dog?
Fang the 15th, and he drools.
15th. What a lineage.
Okay, Fang. And she goes to pet him.
And he's just looks up and just shakes his head, throws spit everywhere.
Oh,
Hey, can you does anyone know how to talk to dogs?
not particularly. Unless you want me to say, "Hey, boy." And
How about somebody grab him by the collar and just pull him off? It might take a couple of you. He's a little heavy.
Fang, come here.
And the dog sits down on Warren's chest. Just a whoop. Drag him off, please.
I'll try and
but
help
he likes
Anthony.
you, Warren.
It's true, he does seem to like you a lot.
Yeah.
No, he hates me.
That doesn't look like hate. Look,
Do you
Fang,
hate him? Do you hate him, boy?
Fang,
Eddie's
there
gonna
is
pet him.
there is a small, soft, squishy, toy, probably smells like me. And she's like shoving her like arms in his face, and she's just like, he probably smells like me. Do you go find it?
And Fang
Penelope,
looks at you
I
and
don't
goes,
think he speaks human.
Yeah, but he might. I don't know if dogs have command words. I don't know.
Maybe you can get him to sniff the phone.
The phone. Smell it. Smell.
Careful. You'll get the.
So, Fang takes the phone and begins immediately chewing on it, and you hear the screen crack as he bites into it.
No.
What
I'm not taking responsibility for that.
problem. But maybe you should wait till his owner gets here. I mean,
She's not coming here. This is an invitation to come to her. She doesn't leave her little hollow anymore.
Oh, well then when we go and meet her, maybe then she can talk to. But can you get the phone back from him? It's gonna take time to fix that.
Penelope tries to take it from him.
And he pulls away, closes his mouth. Just. Warren puts his hand out and goes, "Here, Fang." Fang immediately drops the phone and puts Warren's whole hand in his mouth and just sits there. You owe me. You owe me big.
I mean, I thought you just did this kind of thing for kicks, so
You know,
thanks.
I'd
I
rather
can't
be
help but-
mauled by the tiger. I'm sorry, Eddie.
You know, I can't help but think that Sage could have just wrapped this all up with a phone call, but sending a dog to spit out a figurine seems an odd way to send an invitation. What do I know?
Sage and technology don't work together very well. And the last time I saw somebody try to use a phone on the other side of the hedge, have you seen that movie with the big robots that turn into cars?
Transformers?
Sure. You remember the little guy that turned into a gun?
I guess so.
Yeah, they do that over there.
Look, I know. Sorry.
Oh, it's not very important. I was just curious what the best way to communicate back and forth over the hedge would be.
Well, this token has a special ability. I assume it's two-way. I can't imagine she'd send for us and want us to stay there forever, but she's a bit weird. This will get us to her house. I presume it will get us back. It is a limited opportunity. I say that not only because it is slowly melting in the dog drool, but they have a limited amount of time on them. So I think you're going to have to decide what you want to do. We've got about, 6-7 hours till you're supposed to meet with Dead Bunny Dude. You can go search for Lovey. But that may take you a few hours.
I suppose we could split up then.
Yeah, I know I have a connection with Lovey, but I also know that he is important, and I understand that this probably is too. But he could be our one hope in getting some kind of peaceful resolution in all of this.
Well, yeah, but Warren, how good is Sage about finding things? I mean, maybe dealing with this can help to deal with what's happening with Lovey, because I don't even know where we'd start.
Well, I'd asked her to meet with you before you had mentioned all this about trying to find. What are we calling these things? Stuffies?
Yeah, that's
Polyester
what I was going to
Americans?
call them.
Polyester Americans. That's funny. That's a good one, Eddie.
Look, if we're
Americanvas.
gonna,
Americanvas.
I'll take it. Why not? Look, if we're splitting up, fine. I'll go help Penelope look for Lovey. The rest of you can meet with Sage.
The last time it was just you two alone, there was a rat.
And we handled it.
We'll be fine. You don't even have to come. I can try on my own unless you really want to.
Oh, absolutely not. Should you be alone?
You're not going to be alone. I'm going to come with, and it's not even going to be the two of us. Because I'm bringing Maribel.
That's 3. I suppose that's fine. And then I guess Anthony and I can go over the hedge, and then if you're comfortable with that.
Well, yeah, I would like to. The whole idea is strange, but I gotta see it.
Yeah. And then Mr. Bilkins?
Oh, am I here? I wasn't sure if I was here yet.
I figured
yeah,
you'd
everybody's
eventually
together.
come back, yeah.
Oh, okay. What are the two options here? Either go to the hedge or go find Lovey.
Yeah, which I assume Bilkins doesn't want to do either, so that's why I'm asking.
While the hedge does seem interesting, shouldn't we all stick together? Didn't someone recommend that earlier? That we all stick together?
Look, I think sticking together would be
better. We decide on one course of action, and we can try to get as much done before we need to meet with Mr. Stepiko.
We have a time limit, Bilkins.
That's what I'm saying. It's safer if we all stick together. There's no knowing what any of these entities will do. Finding the hedge and trying to discuss with them the possibility of introducing an entirely new species into their realm, that could be risky. We might need all of our strength. However, finding Lovey, our security guard, is just as important somehow, you think, Penelope?
Bilkins, I know it's been a century since you were a child, but have you ever run away before?
That is a very silly question and not relevant to the current circumstance.
When I was a kid, I ran away a handful of times. Some might say I was a problem child, but the main thing is people run away because they want to be found. They want to see that person cares. They want people to come for them. There's nothing worse than running away and no one showing any care or leaving you to it. If I don't know what message he got, I don't know if he deleted it, I don't know what happened, but if he has run off for some reason, for all we know, it could be it could be someone trying to control him. For all we know, it could be Mr. Pico trying again. We don't know. We need to go after him, because if not, if he is in the clutches of potentially changing sides, and the people that he loves and cares about don't even bother to come find him, I think that's not going to come across very well. So I'm sorry, Bilkins, but I'm going to go and try and find Lovey. I completely understand you wanting us to stick together, and I completely agree, but under any circumstances, I would come with you to the hedge. But right now, I feel like I need to find a friend, but not only just a friend, but potentially one of our very own allies of this whole crazy thing that's going on. So I think
Miss
that's probably
Phillips.
quite important.
Miss Phillips,
Yes.
you said you've been to the hedge, correct?
Yes.
And you said there was some sort of time dilation or distortion. With that
Correct.
knowledge in hand, Penelope, do you think it's possible that with the time distortion dilation, there's a possibility that us three go to the hedge and you two find yourselves in trouble and we unable to help you for several hours? This is a possibility that I entertain. I think the Lovey situation is something that we can find him in some eventuality. But right now, the pressing issue is that we go speak to the hedge lord or whatever you're planning on doing over there, and then meet with Mr. Stico.
That's a great point, Bilkins. There is a time difference, which means that if everyone goes over there and for some reason time takes longer, then Mr. Stapico is stood up. So I think maybe it's best that some of us do stay behind in the eventuality that if time somehow you wake up there, come back a week later, that someone at least goes to meet Mr. Stapico and doesn't let the world burn.
That's part of why I was concerned with the two of you only going. If anything, I think more people should stay over here. I mean, going to Sage theoretically should be safe. So, I mean, honestly, just me and Anthony could probably handle it, get the information, and then everyone else can stay over here. That way, y'all have got a trained police officer with you, someone who, who knows rituals, who knows cars. I mean, I think you guys are a good group to stay here, and then Anthony and I can go take care of the other thing.
Well, Bilkins is quite keen to go over the hedge, so maybe myself, Eddie, and Rebecca can go.
I don't care what we do, but I think we should do it together.
Well, I don't care what you think because I'm going to go help Penelope.
Well, then we should all go help Penelope. And if we miss the meeting with Mr. Stapico, so be it.
Bilkins, I think the meeting over the hedge is very important. I'm not denying that. I think these are both very important things. I think a divide of two will be perfectly fine. I know we had a run-in with a rat, but we survived. We lived it.
So who is going to meet with Mr. Stapico?
Oh, we all plan to.
Yeah, we all meet up and meet with Stapico.
Which is why we'd want to
That's the
separate
idea.
now to try to make sure all of us are ready for it when we can get back. Otherwise, we'd miss something.
When you were over the hedge, Miss Phillips, how many hours took place there that you missed here?
I'm not completely sure how much time passed, but it was a considerable amount over a very short amount of time. Which is part of why it's so important that I mean
Mr. Warren, is time linear over the hedge?
That's a really good question. I mean, there have been times that, depending on where you go and how deep you go into the hedge, and if you're actually going into the courts or the markets or just wandering about in the row,
Assume as deep as we need to go to meet Sage, how much time would pass in this realm?
honestly, it's not really something I've ever tracked. This will be my second time to Sage's. It's not some place I generally go very often, and when I do, I try to be drunk, so I'm really not taking a look at the time.
and to be fair, when I went over the hedge, I mean it was extreme circumstances. I'm not quite sure who or what sent me there, and I don't know, I might have been in disarray or maybe even fainted. I don't know if just my one experience is a good way to tell. I mean, there's Mr. Wilkins. I don't think there's any good options right now. So we just need to do the best we can with what we've got. And I think our time to choose is running out.
We're a leg down, by the way, just to let you
I
know.
have an idea. Eddie, get the car keys. Me, you, and Maribel. That's 3. We'll head out. You guys will go over the hedge. We don't know if dangers are there. We're just going to Chicago. You guys go out there, do what you need to do, and we will do what we need to do, and we'll convene outside the warehouse an hour before the meeting. Okay, let's just go.
No,
I'm sorry. I'm
think
sorry to
if you-
take charge, Bilkins, but I'm
It's
going to
fine.
the
You can
car. I'm on my
take charge
way.
as you want, but I'm going.
can't
with you,
stop me,
Penelope. I'm
Bilkins.
not going over the hedge.
You're not coming with me, Bilkins.
I'm go. If this is what we've decided, I'm going with you. I need to
No.
see my experiment to the end.
Oh my God.
Bilkins.
Please don't let him come with us.
Bilkins, I am very angry right now, and I'm not going to lie. I do not want you in the
I'm
car with me
sorry
right
that
now.
Your emotions are getting in the way of this investigation. However, I have an experiment. I need to see it to the end. And over the hedge is not where I will find my conclusion. So I'll be going with you, Penelope and Eddie, as long as there is room in the vehicle, which I believe there is.
Yeah,
Why
you
are
can
you
go
coming
in
with
front.
us?
Fang's going with them, so there won't be room. And he just flicks it off, and the spit goes across Bilkins because he kind of aimed it that way.
Warren,
I
will you
am
be
more
coming
than
with us?
comfortable with dog spittle, and I'm coming with you.
Fine. Fine. Fine.
Is it fine?
No, but I'm not gonna lie. There's a little guy out there running really fast on his 2 little feet, and every second we spend talking about this, the little further he gets.
All right, let's go.
Further he
Fine,
gets.
let's go. Fine, let's go. All right.
Warren, are you coming with us to the hedge?
I kind of have to.
Okay.
I'm going with the
Shotgun.
key.
Well, I Penelope, please let Rebecca come with you guys as well. Perhaps she could take Mr. Bilkins in a separate car.
Great idea. We could split up in 2 parties.
And
I'm
if
not
it's-
interested in splitting up. We all stay together.
Well, at least take the police car then. I think it would have more room. And
I think we need the police car. It's very conspicuous.
Oh, Jesus.
Well, you can turn the lights on it and go.
Eddie, as I remember,
you
your vehicle has plenty of room for 4 people and a dog.
I was suggesting because you can go blip and then go quickly and it be an emergency.
I appreciate the suggestion very much, Miss Phillips. I don't think that's a good idea.
Harley, I really appreciate it. And don't get me wrong, it would take Rebecca over Bilkins any day. But I can fight, and also on this side of the hedge, there's law enforcement. If something goes wrong, we can always get help. I don't know what there is over the hedge, and it might be wise for you to take another fighter. I know you're a pacifist, and I know Warren is a retired hunter who's very badass. Kudos, and Anthony is more than capable of handling himself. But I would not forgive myself if anything happened to you, Harley. So
I'm only kind of a pacifist now. I have mace.
that's great. Maybe
I can also do this, and she'll take out the big lighter.
Okay.
And
All
do,
right.
and do a little spray of fire. Just to test it.
I think you should be careful with that. You know, it can travel back up the stream and blow up the can.
Oh, Denny didn't mention that.
Yeah, it happened to a
Okay,
cousin of mine
she'll
once.
holster
Wait a
it.
minute. You got that from that little scrawny hobgoblin of a pawn shop owner?
Yes, I did.
What else? What did you have to pay him for it?
Oh, I didn't pay him anything except a promise that we'd be back.
Wait a minute. He gave you something with nothing requested in return?
No.
the same with me. That's where Lovey came from.
Somebody pick up a pregnancy test. I
From-
mean, the
from me?
last time I saw one of these, somebody in a goblin market make a deal with nothing in exchange. Yeah, triplets.
Like I'm going to have triplets?
They can get
I
you
can't
pregnant.
imagine he did it for free.
They can just get you pregnant like that. Oh
You didn't
my
eat or
God.
drink
Oh,
anything, did
shit.
you?
Oh, I had some coffee. It was nice coffee. He has this nice espresso machine, and he was very kind.
Were you telling me you gave her jizz coffee?
What? What?
I'm pretty sure that's not how that works, but I'm trying to fathom what you're telling me.
Weren't you going to the car?
We're gonna, right, Harley, you and I are both going to pick up pregnancy tests because I do not understand how this new world works. But I would recommend you taking Rebecca with you because we are in Chicago. Something goes wrong, at least we know the layout. If something goes wrong over there, I have no idea. But Rebecca is good with guns, and if mobile phones turn into guns over the hedge, then that might be pretty badass to have an officer with you for that.
Okay.
Me, Eddie, and Bilkins will go on the hunt for Lovey. We will meet you outside the warehouse an hour before we're meant to meet Mrs. Sapico. If anything goes wrong, shoot us a message. We will do the same. Don't actually shoot us a message if it does turn into a gun. And we will reconvene then.
Yes.
Let's go.
Could you attempt to send messages every hour to see if there's a way that we could track time, maybe?
I will send you a message of the time every hour.
Thank you. I'll try to time it out myself in my head based on last time, but I don't know what to expect. Hopefully Sage could give us an answer, but we'll find out. And if we're late, then just stall.
And if Sage has any way of knowing where Lovey could be, let us know any way you can.
Of course.
I don't care if it comes in the form of a dog with slobber. I do not mind.
Okay. I'll try to avoid that because I mind a lot, but yes.
And
shotgun.
While everybody's moving, Warren's going to walk over to Harley and put his arm around her and look. I'm sorry. I'm sure you're fine. I just they make deals, and look. I will never repeat this again. Denny's not that bad of a guy. Okay, but you just
you'd be delighted to hear that.
I better never find out you repeated any of this.
Okay.
Be careful about the deals you make, especially in the courts or in the markets, because they're out to make the deal best for them.
Of course.
Very seldom will you get one up on them.
Yes, I'm usually very careful about that thing. Denny's just he's a bit disarming. Sorry, I didn't mean to make any mistakes.
Yeah, wait till you see the real him. He invited you out for coffee, right? Or lunch, or...
Oh, yes. Does he normally do that?
No.
Oh.
But I would, so I figured he did.
Oh, okay.
All right, we ready?
Yes. It's okay. I know that I'm sure you two have some kind of quarrel going on. I'm more offended by the coffee with bodily fluids, and I thought it was disgusting. Let's move on.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right.
And Warren is going to look at Fang and go, lean over and whisper something in his ear. And Fang immediately runs over to Eddie and just gets right up and almost knocks him over, bumps into him, and will, at that point, will not move more than a foot away from Eddie at any point. He is going to stay right with you the entire time.
Oh.
You can talk to dogs.
I didn't. Oh. What did you say to him?
I told him you had bacon in your pocket.
Am I being punished for a lewd remark?
Maybe. I'd
recommend
your getting some bacon.
Coffee?
I'm sorry. I blurted it out. Jeez.
He's got to go somewhere, and I'd rather him be with you than me.
Yeah, I'll remember that.
All right. Well, those who are going, and by the way, it's through the hedge, not over the hedge. We need to head to the Big Bean.
I send Harley a message with the time it is currently, and then note, and then it just say Bilkins equals cock block, and then a laughing face.
Wow.
I assume that's done in emojis as well, so it's like a rooster and a wall.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. Harley will message you back and say, Put him in the trunk. With a smiley face. Cool. We're going to the cloud gate. That's the gate. Ah, that's so fun.
So you make your way, and Warren actually has some pretty good routes to do this. I mean, it's dark most of the way. When you see people off in the distance, the route he goes, you just bypass people. And you end up at the giant bean. If you don't know what that is, in Chicago, there is a huge chrome bean that reflects in all directions. It's quite the tourist thing. But the interesting thing about it is it's near a small wooded park. And he looks around and says, everybody who's ready?
Yes.
All right. And he walks up to a tree and he places the salt figurine against the tree, and it grows and splits apart into this archway. And Harley, you've seen things like this before because it's covered in thorns. And you see these little pieces of fruit, always just far enough away and behind thorns that it would be quite a challenge to get to it. He's, all right, stay close. And he steps into it and begins walking down the path.
Don't touch any of the fruit or try to pick them. That's kind of a no-brainer, but I tried and it wasn't fun. So I didn't get hurt or anything, but just be careful.
Well, thanks. The warning. Yeah.
Of course.
And I'll stick very close to Warren.
Yeah, just straight line.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll follow.
Right. And you walk for quite a ways, and the trail twists and turns, and you continually feel like you see things walking other directions and around you. And at some point, it's almost like an elephant just walked in front of you.
Cool.
But you couldn't actually see it. It's just like you felt that it was there. And then the elephant stopped, turned around, sat down, and turned into two grandfather clocks. Just come on. Leave the memory machines behind. They don't help with anything.
They're not going to accidentally step on us, are they?
Nah, they probably don't even know you're here. They work for the True of Arcadia, so we're not going that far.
So you don't typically like going through the hedge? Is there a reason?
Oh, the hedge is fine. I love the markets. I mean, I've gotten some really cool things out of it. And he rolls up his arm, his sleeve, and on his arm you see this tattoo that actually glimmers like a rainbow.
Oh.
And it is a young woman in a bikini. And as he moves his arm, she dances, and he goes, I got that at one of the markets. It's kind of expensive, but it was worth it.
It's very nice.
I like to tell Sage it's supposed to be her just because it upsets her. Pulls his sleeve back down. And after a time, the trail in front of you opens up. And you see a small cottage sitting in the center of this field, surrounded by these thorns and brambles and trees, almost like a dome all the way around it. Doesn't appear to be any other way in than the way you just stepped through. And as you step into the clearing, it closes up behind you. And you are sealed inside this half sphere of thorns and brambles and trees. And I'm going to put you on hold and go back to the others for a bit before we walk inside the house.
So you've made it to the vehicle. You have Fang with you, who obediently just hops into the back seat, leans his head over the headrest so that he's drooling down on top of you, and he just sits there.
I like to think when Penelope went to do shotgun to open the front door, he hopped in and sat in the front. She's like, okay, and shuts the door and sits in the back.
Very cool.
Penelope is going to roll the window down, and literally every 5 feet is just going to be yelling for Lovey. And yeah, it's gonna be like a siren call. And
every 5 feet. If I speed up, then does she say it more often?
No, every, she's like, Lovey, Lovey, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I would like to basically keep an eye out as best as I can. She's probably sat, because she trusts Eddie to look out for Lovey. She's probably going to be, if so he's sat in the driver, so she's going to be sat on the other side in the back, so they both have a side to look through. And it's just going to be keeping an eye out for Lovey. Any movement at all, she's going to investigate.
And Mr. Bilkins, where are you going to be sitting in the vehicle, and what are you doing during this search exercise?
Just observing and taking notes.
All right.
As
Eddie,
long
since
as we're
you're
trying to figure out where... Oh, sorry.
Sorry, go ahead, please.
As long as we're trying to figure out where he went, how many Toy Stories did he watch?
I don't know.
He only got partway into Toy Story 2, where he found out about the toys still being in their boxes and nobody loving them.
All right.
He got partway through Toy Story 2.
Okay. Well, at least he didn't watch 3. Oh. All right. Well, where do you think he would have gone?
What happens in Toy Story 3?
I'm not going to spoil it for you, Bilkins. You got to watch it yourself.
I'm not going to watch it.
We're going to have a group movie night when we get back after this. Look.
I'm busy that night.
I haven't even told you what night it is. Come on. Man.
I'm busy most nights that you're going to watch a movie as a group.
Jeez, talk about a wet blanket. All right, well, look. So what are your theories, Penelope? Where do you think he would go if he didn't want to talk to us?
I mean, I'm trying to think what the message could have been. It could have been from Mr. Stupico's gang. So he could have headed to the warehouse. He might have gone back to the alleyway. He might have gone back to the pawn shop. He could have done anything. He might have gone to the park, like where Jesse was kind of left, and maybe
You think the text was telling him to go somewhere and he deleted it so he wouldn't follow him?
I guess so. That's the only thing I can think of. I don't know why. Otherwise, messages don't just delete themselves.
Yeah,
Give me a wits and investigation, please, whomever is looking.
Okay. Looking even though I'm driving.
Yeah, I'm not looking.
Since you're driving, I'm going to give you
looking the most.
Well, looking, but not for that. I'm going to give you a -2 for that because you're driving in snowy conditions. So
I'm going to burn a willpower as well for this.
Okay.
I also put out a message with if I possibly was able to find an image of Lovey. Actually, I have an image of Lovey because of my computer. She's going to post a picture of Lovey online and just say, missing item. If anyone finds, please send me a message.
They're wits and investigation, right?
Yes. All right.
Just one success.
You're looking, there's snow on the ground, but you're not seeing anything that looks like 2 little divots running quickly. There's slush, traffic's been through. just not really finding any clues at this point. And that first roll is going to be about half an hour of time that you have invested in this so far.
Any moment we're like stopping at like brake lights, she's going to be checking to see if anyone said anything.
Okay. You can go ahead and make another roll. It's just amount of time that you're putting into it.
I would like to burn another willpower.
All right.
You know what? Could I also spend a willpower and help her out?
Of course.
So I
3
can roll.
successes.
Yeah.
Add 3 dice to your pool.
Okay.
Two. You're going along and you're not really seeing anything, and then something catches your eye, Penelope. You saw something in the snow. You're not quite sure what it was, but you saw something that didn't look right.
Wait. Just 2 seconds, and then I'm gonna.
What is it?
I think I saw something, and she's gonna fling open the door and run towards it.
Okay.
How? All right.
As you make your way back and you look in the snow, you find
Eddie's coming with
a small headset with a microphone.
Oh, okay. He was here. Lovey! This is it. This is his headphone. This is his headphones. We're on the right track. Do I see any footprints at all?
It's still snowing. There's slush, there's snow. I think this is going to take a little bit deeper investigation if you want to look for that. But I do believe you have some investigation abilities there. So you can use intelligence or wits in your investigation.
Can I help?
Absolutely.
All right.
Whatever she rolls, you'll roll the same, but I want you to roll it first.
Okay.
Penelope, are you going to go for intelligence or wits and investigation?
Wits and investigation.
Nice.
Okay. Any successes you get will add dice to her pool. Any critical failures you get 1 success. All right. You get to add 1 die to your pool from Eddie's help. That sounds like an exploder to me.
4. I got a 9, 2 10s, re-rolled the 2 10s, got another 10, and then got
Nice.
like a 3.
And you did include the die from Eddie? You got 1 die into your pool for that? Okay. I'm going to say, yeah, you do find some, well, footprints would be kind of a stretch.
Little divots.
Yeah, divots. You find little round divots that you would think, yeah, they're probably lovey shaped, but there's also something else with them. They're like the little round divots, but they look like they have like little toes, maybe 4 toes. They're not separated though. It's like they're all together.
At this point, I would like to clarify that I brought Maribel with me.
Very good.
This way. Oh my God.
You can see
Are you okay?
that they head off towards the river.
No.
What? Seriously, are you okay?
They've gone to the river. I don't know if they went in the river or if they tried to cross.
Oh, okay. Well, that's a problem.
Lovey, if you're here, please just come out. And how deep is there any way like he could have crossed it in the direction that he was heading?
Well, there's a bridge. There's a bridge that goes across.
Oh, okay, I'll go
But
across the bridge.
as you follow the divots for a little ways, and then at some point you stop seeing the divots in the snow, but you still see the legs with the toes.
I'll follow the legs with the toes.
Okay. They make their way to the bridge, and then they follow a path down to the edge of the water and vanish at the waterline.
No. No.
Oh boy. Did he go in?
I don't know. He might have. Maybe he got stuck on some rocks or something, and she'll follow the river.
It's frozen over.
Oh, it's frozen over.
Yeah.
Do the
Maybe
prints with the prints with the toes seem human?
They're very tiny. Probably about. You know what?
Do they remind me of like a little
Yeah.
Cabbage Patch doll?
Since you said it, I'm going to just say yes. Yes, they do.
Yeah. That's all I wanted to know.
Probably 2 or 3 of them.
Oh.
I will send that. I'll as I'm following the river, I will send that information over. I don't know if they've made it to the hedge by now, but she's going to send it over anyways.
Okay.
Yeah, she will I'm assuming her thought process is that they went on the river to stop the tracks, like the ice. Is my thought. So she's gonna follow the river. Are we near the warehouse at all? Like, are we?
It would be downriver, probably about 2 or 3 miles.
Okay. All right. Is there like a road nearby that we could follow the river on in a car?
It's kind of hit or miss. Some places there are roads that frontage the river. Other places you're going to have to go a block or so over to go in front of the buildings if you go in a vehicle.
Penelope, I think Allison's gang got him. What is the name of the doll, right?
Alyssa.
Yeah.
Alyssa.
Maybe look, they can't run that fast, can they? Like,
Is the snow falling right now?
There's a light snowfall, yes.
Okay. Well, there's still a little bit of snowfall, but the tracks are still visible, which means it can't be that old.
I'm fast. I can run.
Look, we can't assume that they ran. These dolls don't need to breathe. They could have floated down the river.
It's frozen.
All right.
If I run and you drive, and that way, that if anything happens, you know, you can help. But like, at least I can then follow it on foot, follow the tracks.
Let me tell you a little bit about how the river flows through downtown. It is in a canyon. There are high walls. In places, there are docks or little landings that will go down to it. But for the most part, it's like a roadway that goes through. And once you're down in there, there's not always a way up. So if you are on the river, you will be on the ice. If you go up onto the bank, as I said, it's not a straight shot. There will be fences. There will be several other things. So it's doable, especially with your parkour skills. But you're going to have to make a decision about what the optimal way to go is.
I will go above then and just scale the fences and things if there's anything in the way. And keep an eye down and asking Eddie if he can kind of drive the path that's closest to it, you know, and then wait it like when it gets close again. Because she can run fast on foot and get places that possibly others might not be able to.
Yeah,
Are we making the assumption that Lovey is now at the warehouse with Alyssa?
Either at the warehouse
I feel
or they're
like
on
that's
their
the
way.
assumption that we're making right now. Well, then
He could be
Eddie
en
and
route.
I should drive down there and try to cut them off. Lovey only has about 20-minute head start. We were looking for him for about a half an hour, so Eddie and I try to cut them off before they reach the warehouse down at the river, while you pursue on foot.
Yeah, and then I get attacked by 3 Cabbage Patch Kids all with switchblades.
Well, then you can come
Yeah, I
with
don't
us
like
and
that
try to head them
myself.
off at the warehouse.
But what if they go somewhere else?
Well, then there's no point in you chasing after them, is there?
That's what, if I chase, then I can see if they go somewhere else.
And we will also not be there to help.
But if you're staying close, pulling in, checking in, then yeah, if you go to the next part and I'm not there, then you can be like, okay, maybe she needs help.
Tam, can I use my common sense here?
Absolutely.
I want to know what the worst option is.
Give me a roll.
All right, just a sec.
Also, I have a specialty in Streetwise with shortcuts. Would I know
Mhm.
any way that I could potentially do
Is
this
your
path
goal
sooner?
is your goal to track or to just get there? Because
To
if you're just
track.
trying to okay, then you can't do shortcuts because
Okay.
you would be purposefully leaving the trail to do that. Shortcuts are great when you know your destination and you want to get there quicker. Ask me your questions. I'll give you 2 of them for that. Awesome.
Okay. What is the worst choice?
The worst choice is, well, I need to clarify. For what goal?
For finding Lovey.
The worst choice would be going back to the enclave and doing nothing.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Okay. That's the first time I've ever used this.
Think about a question that's, I mean, your
What's
question
the
really,
best choice?
well, your question really is, out of a couple of choices, which one would be the better choice to make? So maybe put your options out there.
Okay. Well, out of us driving ahead to try and head them off, or us staying with Penelope while she tries to chase, what is the safest choice?
The safest choice would be to go in the vehicle, because if she's running along the ice, that ice could be thin. It could break anywhere. There could be dogs along the path. There could be muggers. You never know. There could be a tiger with fork claws running around out there. You just don't know. And if she is separated from you, you can't protect her.
Look, we're rolling along with Penelope. We're not leaving her behind. I don't care if we could intercept the Cabbage Patch dolls. Anything could happen if she's running on the ice herself.
Plus, we must be gaining on them. They can't run that fast, especially if they're carrying him. I mean, the fact his footprint stopped means they might be carrying him against his will. He's probably fighting back.
I'm going to give you a gimme. Go ahead. Sorry, Eddie.
Is there any way we can judge by how clear the footprints are and how hard the snow is falling?
Excellent
Roughly
question.
how long it's been?
I'm going to give you the gimme on that one just because. As you're having this conversation and looking, Eddie, you kind of look out a little closer to the center of the river, and you see what looks like if somebody had taken a small canoe and maybe used it as a sled.
Oh, no.
In fact, you're pretty sure that you can make out little stuffed rat feet, like 8 of them.
Are you kidding
In
me?
2 lines.
Guys, I have bad news. I'm pretty sure I'm pretty sure they're sledding across the ice with sled rats. You know, like sled dogs, but not dogs.
Okay, well, 2 to 3 miles ahead is the warehouse. Let's just do Wilkinson's idea.
I'm sorry, we're just taking that at face value. Sled rats. That's a thing now. Let me write it down real quick. Thank you, Eddie. Sled rats. Unbelievable.
What else are they going to use? Why not? They've got giant rats. We've established that.
I'm writing it down, Eddie. Thank you. I just appreciate the insight. I just want to write down sled rats for my notes.
I don't appreciate that. Sarcasm is most unbecoming, Mr.
It's not sarcasm. I'm just very shocked that you found out that they have sled rats. It's amazing. Middle of the winter.
I think he's impressed, Eddie. I think he's just taking it out because he didn't figure out himself.
I've never impressed him before. I don't know what he sounds like when he's.
I am very impressed. This is my impressed voice. I'm very impressed. Figured out sled rats. Now write that right next to your name. Eddie Stevens figured out sled rats. Thank you. Now, we should probably get to the warehouse before they get there with their sled rats.
I tap Eddie on the shoulder and just give him a smile of like, breathe. We're okay.
Can we put him in the trunk yet?
I would love to so much.
All right.
I heard that.
No, you didn't.
Excuse me, I got to do a drool check on Fang to see if you're swimming or not. Oh, yeah. Fang's just been sitting there, and since you got out of the vehicle, he's gone over to the driver's window, and he's just kind of looking out. And meanwhile, it's just rolling down the side of the car. And because it's so cold, it's also frozen.
No.
What did you roll for that check? What is that? Like a composure?
Honestly, I know you're asking the stat, but I rolled my snot green dice.
And his slobbery failures or successes?
They're actually successes.
For him, I'm sure. Okay,
cool. For him, they are successes.
Just wanted to clarify.
He loves his territory. I did it based on the number of successes was the amount of time he spent making the spot his own.
And Elfie's just like, this is why I have cats.
I'm going to pay Warren back for this. And
so what are we doing?
Free pizza.
I think we're going to head to the warehouse.
All right. So you load back in the vehicle and you make your way that way. And I'm going to put you on hold. So we go back to the clearing.
Oh, I will have also,
yes.
If at any hours have passed, she would have done the messages to Harley.
Okay. Very good. As you get a little bit further into the clearing, you notice there's someone sitting on the front porch. And if I can get the camera to work here, this will be wonderful.
Ooh.
Nope, wrong one. Go ahead and turn your camera on there if you would. Guest.
Oh, is it? Yeah! Wow!
I love how it shifted the cameras.
Yeah!
Nothing ever works right.
Well, you asked Chael to be a guest. I don't know what you expected.
Give me a moment as I try to find the correct window here. There we go.
I mean, I'm surprised you expected anything else.
I am having so much fun with this, trying to move the image into the right place right now. I
literally sent Chael when you mentioned Sage and Fang. I messaged Chael like, "Are you our guest?"
All right.
No.
Give me just a moment here.
About?
And
no.
There we go. Now the camera worked. Okay. That was greatly annoying, but it is not my night for technology. That's all I can say. So if you would like to give a description of what they see as they approach your house.
They will see an elderly lady, because I mean, I clearly have played the part. Damn. with long graying hair, sitting there in her little rocking chair, cane by her side, just drinking a drink like she's waiting on them.
And
Hello.
Three. Seem to be missing a few. Well,
wasn't-
come on.
it wasn't my choice. They decided who was going to stay and who was going to come meet you.
Why is it any time I have anything to do with a warren, something goes wrong? Never you mind. Come along, come along. You're here about the pretty princesses already.
Sorry, but no. The stuffed animals.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I always get my seasons mixed up. Remind me, which one is this?
There's a rabbit who's been instilled with emotions, potentially due to a golden heart that he harbors. And we're trying to find a ideally peaceful way to go about dealing with them, as some of them have are coping with their trauma in ways that harm others.
Interesting. All right, all right. None of you have made any deals with them, have you? Can't have any of you getting pregnant or anything. That would be disastrous. Never know what they come up with.
Oh. With the stuffed animals?
Oh, my mind is not where it is today. And she'll stand up and get her cane and lean on it. Well, come on, come along, come inside.
One of them is our security guard. Is that going to get anyone pregnant?
Oh, Lord, no. I'm surprised his lineage even still continues to this day.
And Warren's going to look at you and just go,
There's a reason why he's in charge of the library, you know.
Paige, how's your leg?
It's not wooden, I can tell you that much. It's the hip that's bothering me.
My leg's not wooden either. I am not even related to. It is only a name, Sage, and I did not pick it for myself.
Never met a Warren that wasn't a complete jackass.
And I've
Come
never met
on,
a sage
come on.
who was stable.
How many sages have you met?
Just one.
Well, that's at least 13 too few. Are you coming inside for tea or not? It's getting cold.
I think she means the tea's getting cold, not.
What else did I mean? I should have never let you out of that library.
Tea would be great. Are we allowed? Is it okay to drink it? I know you had concerns about drinking things.
If Sage, you're not going to get her pregnant with your tea, are you?
The only one that needs to worry about something happening to them from their tea is you.
That's what I figured. You'll be fine. By the way, I'm afraid Fang kind of damaged your token a little bit.
That's all right. It's only meant for a couple of uses anyway. Oh, you do know that you're all trapped here forever, right? I needed some new friends.
We do have an appointment. We were actually hoping to clarify how time passes in this realm.
It does.
We need to. Well, yes, yes, but it passes at a different rate than in the human realm, the mortal, the whatever it's called over here. We have somewhere that we pretty urgently need to be with our friends, and over there is 5 hours or so.
Oh my, that's That's rather concerning, didn't you know?
Well, I knew time passed differently here, but I didn't know by how much.
Oh my goodness, darling. For every hour that you stay here, it's 100 years in the human realm.
Oh,
Right. So then we need to discuss these things quickly so we can.
yeah, we've got like 5 minutes.
She'll start to laugh.
She's yanking your chain.
Oh,
I've been alone for a while. It's nice to have someone to talk to.
You wouldn't have to be alone. You made that choice on your own.
When they started charging me for parking my horse, I decided I had a problem. Honestly, who charges for such things? There was a time whenever you could just leave your horses wherever you wanted.
And you could collect berries along the seashore and, do magic in the streets. Yes, Sage.
What sort of berries have you been collecting from the seashore? Not the bird shit again. You do know the little white things that look like berries are not actually berries.
Why do I even try to have a conversation in front of you? You think I would have learned. Sage, they have a problem.
Mm-hmm.
Death, dismemberment, sadness, and this really cute little fella who's just like a bundle of love. You'd adopt him.
I have tea on the table for all of you, and it's getting cold. If you would come in and sit down, we can certainly work through this issue that they have. Mind you, you can drink yours outside if you want. And she'll walk inside and go to the table and just sit down and lean her staff against the table and just wait.
Warren is going to sit outside.
Of course he is. He's Warren. Duh.
Riley will go ahead and head in.
And
Pull
you
out a chair for Miss Harley.
Thank you.
Names, please.
Oh, my name is Harley.
Pleasure,
Phillips,
dear.
if you care for last name.
Anthony Reed.
A pleasure. So you seem to have a problem.
Yes. Yes, we've got these stuffed animals that have well, Anthony, you were with the meeting with Mr. Stopico. We're dealing with a bunny basically that's come into emotions and is now infecting others, I suppose.
Yeah. So he says he can cast off some of his emotions, and that's how they first started waking up, I guess. But he says that it's not just him anymore; that they're waking up on their own, and some of them are, well, they're really upset about what's been happening.
Attacking us, upset, being outfitted with forks as weapons and needles and I personally I come from a psychologist background and I don't blame these stuffed animals for suddenly having so many emotions and dealing with things like abandonment and loss of self and there's humans can barely deal with it and now these stuffed animals are trying to come to terms with it and we're trying to find some kind of balance that we can reach with them, whether that be finding them a home in the human realm or perhaps finding them a home over here that might be safer. I mean, if ultimately we've decided, I mean, if we have to protect people by taking care of them, we will do that. But I think a peaceful option is the preferred.
Interesting. But you say they can do things like carry around miniature weapons? What do they do?
Well, it's amazing what they can do. Some of them even know how to use technology. They're very smart. That they seem like they're learning. At least I think so.
Can any of them cook?
Not that we've met, but I think they'd be fairly teachable. They're very malleable in their learning. We taught one to be a security guard, so I'm sure we could teach one to be a cook. It just wouldn't really be able to, I don't think, taste test anything that it made.
This could possibly work.
And
I
with
might.
that, I am going to say we're going to take a 5-minute break.
Oh,
And
Perfect.
we will be right back. All right, and we are back. And we have the full table back with us, so yay! Welcome, Rebecca.
Woo!
So, part of the party has been chasing down Lovey, and they're in a vehicle headed to the warehouse where they had met with Mr. Stepiko previously. The other half of the party is in the Fey realm. Well, on the borders of it. They're in the hedge. And they're at the house of someone named Sage, who has offered them tea and been rather obnoxious to a very kindly old man. So when we left, Sage was just about to say something, so I'm going to put her on the spot.
Woohoo! My favorite. Pardon me, dearie. I don't think I quite caught your name.
Rebecca. Apologies, I have been just a bit gobsmacked, I guess.
It's overwhelming.
Yeah, 2 days ago, or 3 days ago, I didn't know about any of this, so it's quite the experience. Yeah,
Okay.
Rebecca Theron.
And it's a pleasure to meet you. Please enjoy your tea.
Thank you.
Now, I might be able to solve your stuffed animal problem, but give me a moment here.
They're not all
That's-
animals.
That's amazing news. Oh, yeah,
some of them are little people.
Cabbage
Small
Patch.
toy problem.
I don't think anyone can be as small as you, dear. Before I was interrupted. Yeah.
It's not my fault you turned down the proposal.
Not my fault, you're an idiot.
Oof.
Anthony and I are
raw
looking at
tension.
each other like a sitcom. Like we're just kind of like.
Hey, I have an idea. Now, this will require a bit of time. I will have to get some things together. Maybe make a sacrifice or two. Couple of legs, fingers. But I think I can take them somewhere where they would be safe, useful, but not cause any harm.
Oh.
Now, something like this, I don't believe we want in the human realm, of course. It tends to upset the humans, and they get a little confused and panicked. Obviously, we don't want the little creatures not having a home. As much as I would love to adopt them all and have my own, just get a field and let them all run free, I can't do that. I don't have that much space. Rabbit thing concerns me because they may have ties to the summer court. But I don't have many dealings with that court. We had a bit of a falling out. We're not going to go there. However, I do have some contacts in the winter court. I do believe my father might be able to help us out. I will have to get a hold of him. We don't have those bricks you carry around in your pockets, so it could take a little bit of time. But we may be able to send them there. We do have a few openings for some cooks. I know there are a few things that we could use that would be beneficial and they would be happy. I don't suppose any of you have a problem with that.
We're talking hundreds of these things, at least.
Well, that's quite all right. How large do you think the Fey realm is?
Darren will just kind of look around. I'm gonna be honest with you, I have not the foggiest.
I think we're just surprised that this is seemingly easy so far. We thought that this would be a rather complicated ordeal trying to find somewhere, and it seems like you just know somewhere off the top of your head. That's amazing
Well,
news. Would we be able to access them and check in on them and make sure that they're all doing okay? We foresee that potentially some of them might need continued emotional support.
well, there are a few hiccups. All ideas are great in theory. The hiccup will be trying to get them to agree. That is a lot of new energy and a lot of new creatures coming into the Winter Court all at once. It upsets the boundaries and ruffles a few feathers. Certain courts get upset that other courts are getting more powerful, and it's a lot of drama.
Warren's going to stick his head in and go, "You always want them to go to the court. That was the problem to begin with. Why can't they have a freehold? Have you considered that? Maybe they could just have a freehold somewhere and support the court?"
Oh, what?
Darling, do you know what an A and B conversation is? Do you know what the next letter is that comes after that?
Why the hell I ever proposed to you in the first place?
Oh dear, excuse me.
Well,
It
in
smell
the interest
tension.
in the interest of keeping it an A and B conversation, like you said, what about these freeholds? Is it like its own small sovereign nation, or is it? He said that they would work with the court. I hate to see them have to be taken from a place where they don't have a home and then forced into immediate labor and subjugation with some other group.
Well, it wouldn't just be. I mean, they would be cared for and they would have a home. As much as I hate to admit it, he could have a point.
Why don't you live in the court? Sagey wagey.
The reason why I turned down your proposal, besides the fact that you breathe, I'm quite happy and content where I am. I'm able to do as I please when I please. I do not know what these creatures are like. I do not know. Do they need constant supervision? Are they something that could have their own court? Perhaps I should start a court.
Are there? Oh, sorry. Go
Oh,
ahead, Harley.
I think similarly to what we said before. I mean, they're like babies in a way, just a little bit more emotionally high functioning. So they've got the emotions and basic tactile ability to be taught just about anything. And as far as I know, they don't really need any sustenance or anything like that. So I assume they could get along pretty well by themselves. My only reservation is, I mean, stuffed animals, when you think about them, kind of are meant to serve the purpose of being in a relationship with a person, specifically, some kind of comfort or child. So I think they could potentially get along fine on their own once they realize that they could have a purpose beyond that. But I don't know. I mean, you know more about fate and destiny and stuff like that. Maybe some of them won't be able to tear themselves away from that feeling of needing a person. So there's still some details we need to work out, but we're meeting with the Mr. Stupico is his name, the originator of these living stuffed animals, and we'll know more from there. But we were just hoping we'd have something to tell him to get it started at least.
Well, the other thing is again, ideas are good in theory. It's also not going to be free. There will be a cost.
How much are we talking?
It's not so much, it's more contracty.
Oh. Yeah, that makes sense.
You could always contract with her horny dad to make babies for him.
Rebecca, darling, would you be an absolute dear and slam that door for me, please? As hard
She'll
as you
take a
can.
second and
Oh, very nice. Would you like some more tea? And she'll lean over and pour her a little extra tea.
thank you. It's quite good. I appreciate it.
They're not really horns, they're antlers, but you get the idea.
I should have opted for the soundproofing.
Well, I mean, I hate to say it, but I don't really care what the contract would have to be. These are people. You got to take care of them, whatever the cost is going to be.
Yeah, I think most of us are fairly willing to give up quite a bit. I mean,
But this is a contract that you're willing to sign on your own, of your free will.
What are the terms?
Well, it is the Fae. I believe I could serve as a go-between to stop my father from doing anything firstborn-y like they used to do way back when.
That's
I don't suppose you have any limbs that you would that you're not attached to particularly, or do you feel 100 years of servitude type deal, or
we'll be dead in 100 years.
well, not here.
prosthetics have improved quite a bit medicinally.
Very open-minded.
was he-
Exactly. And what's an
Oh.
arm or a leg compared to
The
what we're going
lives
to be
of so
getting?
many. But Mr. Anthony, I'm not going to let you do something like that. If need be, I can, but
Who are you to make
However,
that call for me?
Could we deal in bartering, maybe? If maybe we have something to offer that isn't necessarily a part of self, but rather, if we're allowing these stuffed animals to have refuge in this realm, maybe we could help facilitate something for Fey creatures in our realm. I mean, I know from what I understand, there's a lot of creatures that just kind of live freely and have disguises that we don't even know about, but maybe we could facilitate an area where people could, slip out of that disguise and just take a break for a little while. I don't know if that would be useful.
that's interesting that you bring that up. It's very interesting that you bring that up.
A place for a place. Somewhere
I
people can
do-
belong over there and somewhere people could belong over here.
There is something that I don't typically enjoy placing such burdens on people, but I suppose if the court is going to be burdened as such, it would be better if you signed a contract with me rather than the entire court or my father. I could take on his wrath for you. That would be all right. Goodness knows he's been angry with me many of times. There was that one time. Well, let's not go into that. We don't have that kind of time. All right. If you really want to do this, I have an item that is very dear to me. I've been having quite some trouble getting it. I would need you to retrieve it for me. Is that something
simple.
that you would be willing to do?
Yeah, of course. At
Sure.
least I would. I can't speak for the others, but I mean, that over
Okay.
giving up a limb. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Anthony and I both were kind of in the limb boat already, so this is an improvement.
We need complete agreement from all of you. I believe I sense that there are more people involved in this that they could not attend. And she'll point to the empty cups on the table. You would have to be willing to speak for them as well. Because I would
Yes.
need an answer, because I will have to go before my father myself with a signed contract. If the people that are with you are unwilling, then you will have to take on the additional task yourselves.
I think that's fine. I mean, Penelope really cares about these stuffed animals. Eddie cares about Penelope, and Bilkins wouldn't agree regardless to anything. So I think that's all fine.
Yeah, no, yeah, we can pick up the slack even if they're not wanting to.
Exactly.
All right. I need you to get this item for me. It's not an easy task. It could take you many years. It's very distant. I am unable to get to it. It's in lands far, far away from here that I cannot access. It's very guarded. Even if I could leave, it's not something that I could just walk right into and get. It's highly protected. It is dangerous, but you are still willing to do this for these creatures.
Sure.
We are in a complete agreement.
Yeah, I'll bring an arsenal, I guess.
It's not that easy. Everyone who signs, and you will need to sign for your friends, you will have to do it yourselves. You cannot have someone else do it for you.
That's
You
fine.
signed the agreement, so you must complete the agreement.
Let me.
How these things work.
Can we get messages through like text out? And I'd check my phone at this point and see if I've received any of the text from Penelope.
No signal.
Ugh.
Those bricks don't typically work here.
Yeah, I didn't think they would, but I was hoping. I think if they would agree, but I do feel weird signing on their behalf. Is there a way all of us could come back?
I'm afraid not. That's how these things typically work.
What do you think, you guys?
And while they're discussing, she'll start drawing up the contract. Now, do keep in mind, there are many bad people that do guard this item. I am loath to say it, but you may have to kill them.
What is this item? You're being vague. This contract's going to be specific. We need to know. What are we facing? Where are we going? And what item are we seeking?
You do well to ask these questions. Always read the fine print before you sign anything. It is a box. An alabaster box.
Right.
And I need it.
Okay.
And she'll flip it around. Hand them a pin.
You need it to do.
That's not really any of your concern. This is a very, very important item to me. It will not impact your world. It will not impact your creatures in any negative way.
I thought you might say something like that, but she did ask you another question about the guardians of it. Is that also not relevant to us?
I suppose it's only relevant if you encounter the guardians, but they are bad people. So if you must dispose of them, then you must dispose of them.
Okay.
So then, can I ask? Sorry.
No, go ahead, please.
Supposing that acquiring this is not within our capabilities, this deal with the limbs, is that off the table?
The good thing about Faye, you have your whole life to complete this task. Should you fail, it's typically up to my father because I will be giving the contract to him, but you may either die or you will live your eternally in servitude. Typically it's a cook.
Right. So how many limbs exactly do you need?
5, 6. I believe we could do maybe with 6, 7.
Thought it was gonna be one.
Split between the three of us, that's quite a few.
Okay, so for this, where is this box hidden?
It's far away.
Far
It's
from here or far from us at home?
which gate did you come through, dear? Did you come through the which gate?
The Cloud Gate.
Is that the one where that asshole Kapoor with the bean?
Yes, 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 yes.
Ah,
He's,
I know
he's
exactly.
asshole. Hmm.
We like Mr. Simple. He's very nice. Did he ever paint the thing pink?
Yes,
He did paint it. Oh, good.
I believe so.
Good job.
How far from this?
It's in an old land. It's a very old land. There's many tall old buildings, churches.
We're talking like ancient Egypt? We going all the way back to Mesopotamia? What are we talking about?
There's no sand. I don't know the human name for this land, but there's many buildings, churches. It's been around for millennia. Is any of that ringing a bell to any of you?
Is it Germanic? English?
That sounds sort of right, yes.
So I guess it would have been known as England to you, or it's known as the United Kingdom now.
Oh goodness, no. They had the thing with the no, not that one. It started with an R, Roma something, Italian.
Romania? Rome?
Ah, possibly. That sounds very familiar. Yes,
So it's in Rome.
that sounds good.
It-
And she'll
it is
jot, she'll
Alabaster.
cross a few things out and add a few things to the contract. Here we are. Hints.
And before we sign,
Mhm.
what about the Guardians? Who are they?
Well, I've
Are they
already told
people?
you.
Are they monsters?
I suppose it depends on how you look at them. It depends on what form they'll take. As I said, some of them are very bad. They have done very bad things.
You don't need to raise your.
Oh,
They do.
Look,
They do wear robes, if that helps. I mean, that's an annoyance as it is.
so I have a really important question. The contract takes however long it takes to get done, and
Mhm.
you've made that clear. However, are we going to have a place to put them in the meantime until the
Oh,
contract is completed? And if not,
absolutely.
can I do anything to make that a part of this?
No, if you all fail, they all die.
All the stuffed animals die.
Yes.
So hold on. I don't mean if we should fail to complete the task. I fully intend and believe that we will complete the task. However, because time is sensitive on our end, we
Mhm.
need a place for them relatively now. And this
That's of course that is why I'm trying to speed this along for you. You said you had this needed to be done with some urgency. That's why I'm willing to write the contract and take it to my father on your behalf myself, rather than trying to summon an entire court hearing with my father, which could take decades.
So the contract will be fulfilled immediately on your end, or as quickly as possible. How long? Maybe a day or two, a couple days.
How quickly can we get the creatures near me?
We'll figure that out. One
Part
step
of
at a
it,
time.
part of it kind of depends on the time transition. I mean, ideally we can deal with it in a day or two, but over here that might be, I don't know, a week. I'm not sure what the difference time-wise is.
Yes, your creatures will be taken care of and they will be given a home. We will make the decision if they should be free court or if they should remain in the winter court. But they will be wherever they will be placed wherever they will fit best.
I think that's the best shot we have. Don't you guys think?
Yeah.
Yes.
Here you are.
What are
But
your
I'm-
reservations, Anthony?
So my trouble is, until we finish this task, there won't be a place for them, and
No,
if it's
no,
in,
no. They will have a place immediately.
oh,
Should you fail in your task, then the death occurs. But that's not a concern because you said this
Then
was
we
a
won't fail.
priority.
Then we won't fail.
Fail.
yeah.
Right here, please. You first, darling, with Anthony. Go ahead. Thank you, Madam Harley.
Yes. Are we signing on behalf of the others as well?
I
Should
am
it just
afraid that
be
is the
the-
agreements.
Okay, well, Bilkins won't be happy, but that's fine. Harley will sign her name, and she'll also sign for the rest of them, other than Rebecca.
There you are, Rebecca.
Okay. Well, another interesting day.
Warren, do you want in on this contract?
Warren's gonna walk in and he'll be zipping up his pants.
And he's gonna say retired.
I'm retired.
What? Sign what?
I don't want your name in my book.
Well, let me see it. Let me see the contract.
The ink is dry. The contract has been signed. The deal has been made.
What did you all agree to?
We're gonna
getting
retrieve
a
an
box?
alabaster box.
You're going to rob the Vatican?
Yeah. Oh.
I thought we were going. Oh God.
That's not exactly what I said. I need the item retrieved. There are some bad guys. There's the head in the white called the poop or whatever. I need him
The Pope.
possibly destroyed.
What?
This is going to be fun.
Fucking excuse me?
Wait, whoa. We cannot destroy the Pope. Okay, so you're joking about the Pope part, right?
He's the one in the white, the poop.
Pope.
The Pope?
Yes.
Pop? I thought it was poop. Where did the other O come from?
This is very serious.
It was held in place with one of the screws in your head that fell out. That's where the other O came from.
I just out of character want to just in my head, you're going to come back and be like, oh yeah, don't worry, everything went fine. We just signed over your lives. And if you do not kill the Pope and steal from the Vatican, like never allowed to go anywhere ever again.
No. She didn't say you had to kill the Pope. She said you might have to kill some people.
Oh, just some cardinals then. Okay.
Penelope wants
The ones
to
in
kill the
red are
Pope.
typically the equal ones. But
Just some
sometimes
cardinals.
Yes. And you have your entire lives to make this happen.
I was raised Catholic.
Oh no.
Oh dear, is that a problem? Is that part of it? Well, no matter. You have your entire lives to figure this out. So I just need you to get the item and return it to me. Kill any bad guys because they are evil. They've done nasty things.
Bilkins doesn't know. Sam didn't hear that. Oh no.
Should I repeat? Should I repeat the deal for anyone's benefit? You all completely understand what you have to do.
No. I think it's quite clear, and we will certainly figure it out in due time.
Do we have?
And you may have to wait for some of the seasons to change to get everything to line up just right.
Do I have to get baptized?
Just to catch you up, Bilkins, we're fucked.
No. You don't have to do any of that. I mean, you certainly can if you want.
I was
won't
tracking.
stop
I was
you.
tracking.
So, do we know where in the Vatican this box even is?
Unfortunately, I know that it is heavily guarded. I do not know where they have it. It is an alabaster box with lots of gears. It is very important that you bring me the correct box.
Were you obfuscating the name on purpose?
Oh no, I couldn't remember. I knew it started with an R, but Vatican starts with a V.
The Vatican doesn't start with an R.
But it's in the Roma. Is that the tomato? The Rome, that place.
So just to be sure, the whole limbs thing is off the table now.
Oh yes, you'll just die if you don't complete it as well as your little creatures. So it's all right. I figured that would be less painful. Should I not have changed that clause?
No,
We just
no, it's
gotta-
fine.
No, this is fine. This is fine. How much time has passed? Do you know? We do have somewhere to be.
How long has it been since you arrived? It's probably been giant disembodied voice in the sky. How long has it been?
They've been with you for at least an hour, maybe 2.
How long is that?
200 years,
I
apparently.
think we're late.
So, I will take this contract on behalf of my father. I will get him to get things in motion, get the creatures to me. They will immediately be granted a place, and you have the rest of your human lives to carry out the task.
Understood.
And of course, if you fail, or any one of you fail, now this is a group thing. You all signed, you all must complete the task. If any one of you fail, you all die.
Wait.
So it's kind of like
wait.
you all have to be together on this.
So if anyone dies in this mission, we all just die?
Yeah, more or less.
Oh, well, that's unfortunate.
But you'll be fine. You'll be fine.
We didn't read. Whoops.
Yeah, you didn't read it at all, did you?
No.
No, it sounded like a good plan.
And I just want to point out, a couple of hours ago, you were worried about, having a coffee pregnancy.
Yes.
Oh, what?
And I don't think you learned anything.
No.
I think I would have taken the pregnancy. Are you
It's
kidding me?
fine. Oh, no. Well, okay.
I
Well,
mean, if you're lucky, I can get that changed to eternal servitude in the Fey Court. Would you prefer that to death?
let's just. I think we've already made enough agreements today that we didn't think about. Let's just stick with what it is. I think.
Also,
Okay, dear.
clarity. You say our human lifetimes. What if we're not human anymore at some point? Does that count as a breach of contract?
Oh yeah, we do deal with them.
If you're not
vampires.
So what if we get bitten by like a vampire or a werewolf or I don't know, something else that changes you?
Oh, you don't have to worry about that.
I
Werewolves
could write a deviation.
transferring through a bite, that's all fantasy. That's not how you
how are there
get
new
werewolves. The old-fashioned way. Coffee pregnancies.
Okay.
I can write a deviation to the contract. I think I could always include that if they turn into a vampire or a fairy or if they turn into
The contract is signed. Don't make changes.
Well, I only want to help them.
Trust me on this.
We can get turned into fairies too.
Well, just the little tiny ones, the little pixies with like little wings and the little tiny dresses. They're adorable. They don't eat much, which is nice when you're caring for them.
Hey, well, all for the
They do
stuffed
get
animals,
lost.
right? We care about the stuffed animals. They deserve a happy home
They deserve a happy
at
home.
the expense of the Pope.
You are amazing human beings that would willingly trade away your lives for stuffed animals. I mean, that's truly commendable.
Well, hopefully it won't
Your
cost us
entire
our
life.
lives.
Your
That's the
entire
goal.
lives are on the line, and your eternal souls for stuffed animals.
Wait,
Cool.
eternal souls. What happens to our souls?
You know what? I don't need to know. Can we not?
I think we just need to get home at this point. Let's get home at this point, and then maybe keep this a secret for a while from everybody.
We
Just for
have
a
to
little
tell
bit.
them this is kind of
We
important.
will, but after we deal with the rabbits, because I don't want them.
Well,
to...
we have to make sure that nobody dies to the stuffed animals, or else we all die.
Well, the good news is I don't think anybody wants to die to the stuffed animals anyway. So why don't we just tell them about the nice place we found for them, and then we'll deal with the contract information.
Don't start until the fall.
Okay.
Okay. Wait a
Perfect.
minute. You're telling them next season?
Yes.
Okay. Look, normally the provisions in this thing are not so bad that if one of you dies, everybody else dies. It's simply if one of you dies, then their heir Some relative of theirs will end up being bound to the contract. So they'll just get swept away and be part of it. So
Do I need to
it
write a
shouldn't kill all
deviation
of you.
for that?
I have two brothers. They can do it if I can't.
I'm new to this contract thing. Do I need to write a deviation for that?
No,
Wait, you're
no,
new to? Oh God, we need to get out of here. We need to get out of here. We signed the contract.
We're
we need
all
to go.
taking calls. We're
Um,
all taking calls.
Take your
Sage.
tea with you.
Sage, I would like a copy of that to have our hobgoblin review, please.
Oh, Denny. I love him. I would love for him to read that over. He's
Okay.
such a sweet little fellow. Not quite fond of you, if I'm not mistaken. Makes him even more dear to me.
Fond of you?
Thanks.
Well, thank you for
Sagey.
the life-altering contract, Sage. It was nice to meet you.
It was lovely to meet you. You seem like incredible people. Here, take some tea with you for later, and she'll hand out little sachets of tea. Just hot water, steep it for about 3 minutes. It's very relaxing.
Yep.
Thank you.
If you guys want to wait outside, I'll be out in just a moment.
Sure.
Come back anytime.
Okay.
And Warren is going to sit down at the table, place his hands out on the table towards you.
Seriously, we're doing this again.
It's good to see you again.
It is nice to sit with you again.
In case this doesn't work, could you... Harley has that sight, the touchy see thing.
That's always fun.
Do you have something that maybe we could aid that a little bit so that she could maybe see the weakness of these things? I'm not sure what they are. I mean, they're not Promethean. I mean, they weren't created for something. They don't tick like the machine.
There's more to them than I thought. Hand me my cane.
And he will hand it to you.
She'll stand up and I'll walk over to my cabinets and I'll go through and I'll start taking just little bits and bobs, putting them all together in a little leather sachet. I'll pick up a few other things and I'll walk back and sit down. Oh, my age is starting to catch up with me. This is something that a dear, dear friend taught me a long time ago, Eleanor. Here you are. If she makes that into a tea, and she must keep the leaves after she drinks the tea. Steep it for 10 minutes. Not a minute longer, not a minute less.
Why do you always have to make it so complicated?
She'll just gently touch the side of his face. Would you have it any other way?
Yes.
This is how this side works. I do the best I can with what I have. Your friends are lucky. You know how much trouble I'm going to be in when I take this to my father. You know Lord Herm is not going to like me writing a contract on their behalf. He likes to do it himself, and he's much more clever than I tend to be.
I appreciate what you've done for them.
I have one more thing that may help. Take this string. Have someone turn it into a net. My hands are old and knotted. I cannot do it. It will help you catch them.
All right. Very good. Tell Father and the Hearth Mother hello for me.
Always. And of course, come back and visit.
Blessed be, Sage.
Blessed be. You will get.
And with that, Warren will step outside and usher all of you back to an opening that just forms. You're not sure if it forms in the same place, but Warren just starts walking and keeps walking. And as you are making your way back, We have some people who are riding in a vehicle up to a warehouse, and I think they may need to discuss their plans a little bit.
Okay, I'm hoping if we get there before they do, we can kind of surprise them, but there's no real way of knowing if they're going to already be there, if we're going to beat them to it or
Sure.
not.
Well, we can check and see if there are any recent tracks from that sled.
That's true, but oh goodness,
If
you
they're
bought
leading to the
Maribel, right?
warehouse. What?
You bought Maribel, right?
Yeah, well, last time I tried to go in there with Maribel, they didn't quite like it. They started pulling switchblades.
Well, I'm hoping we won't have to actually go in. And Bilkins, did you bring any weapon at all?
Well, I've got this billy stick with a red button.
The
And
shocker.
he's acerbic wit.
Thank you.
Okay. Let's right, we'll get there. Try and peek.
What is our concern? What is our main concern at this juncture? I thought we were just heading off this panda to capture him. What is the plan?
We want
to
Lovey
him
back.
Yeah, well, to get him back.
Oh, because he's such a good security guard.
No, because he's a friend. He's kind of a part of our group, and also he is a big potential help to this whole thing.
I mean,
So
yeah.
the plan is stop him from getting us and convince him to come back with us. That's the plan.
Eddie, what were you going to say?
I was just going to reiterate that he is useful beyond just being a security guard.
Is he?
He's the only one of these things that we have on our side. He provides an insight into how they think, and he provides a potential, I don't know, diplomatic edge in communicating with them. Don't you think so?
That's an interesting thought, Mr. Stevens. Hadn't considered that.
Look,
yes, perhaps it's best that we get him back on our side.
Wow. We actually all agree on something.
I still just don't get what would have made him go. Like, I really don't understand.
Yeah, well, hopefully he'll listen to reason once we get him back.
We don't completely know these creatures. It could have been any number of things.
Well, I'm sure he'll tell us when we get to him.
Sure he will.
You arrive in the parking lot. The doors open.
Oh,
There's
God.
a light coming from inside.
What time is it? Like, how early are we? Because I know the appointment was here as well.
You're about 3 hours early.
Okay, all right. Looks like they were maybe expecting us.
That's not great news.
Well, our appointment isn't for several hours. There's no reason for us to enter the warehouse. We can put tracks down by the river and backtrack up it if need be.
I have a feeling they might already be here.
Yeah.
We should confirm that before we
Eddie
go
is going
waltzing
to
into this warehouse.
Eddie is going to check along the this river to see if there are any tracks from that sled, that canoe that he saw before.
Yeah, Penelope will help with that.
They're fairly obvious. Yes, you see the drag marks. They go inside the open door.
Well,
look, I know that this is very dangerous, and I completely understand if you two do not want to accompany me inside.
I mean, you're not going to go inside alone.
I mean, I'm going in, but I can't ask you guys to. It's up to you. I will not have any grudge if you do not join me.
You realize how bad an idea it would be for you to go in there alone.
I'm still doing it. That's my
You're
choice.
really forcing my hand here, Penelope.
Miss Schmalls, do you remember your video, the first video where I saw you? You sat in the warehouse and you watched the whole thing take place while you videotaped it with your camera. You didn't intervene. You didn't step forward. Why now do you have to take action inside this warehouse when we have backup coming in 3 hours' time, as last we planned?
You learn from experiences. You don't think I regret not doing anything?
You stayed alive. And that's what's most important. You stayed alive so that the story could get out.
Maybe that can be your role this time, Mr. Bilkins.
Come on. You are not going in there to die.
I can't just sit here and wait. For all I know, they're torturing Lovey in there. I don't think he's going with his will. Like, I don't think he's willingly going.
Well, if they're doing that to him, what do you think they're going to do to you?
I don't know, but I can't have him think that no one came for him. Look, like I said, these creatures are intelligent, and I get they're angry, and I get they're acting on rage, but this would be the dumbest move for them to make. So far, I've been one of their biggest advocates of keeping them alive, so if I go in there and they decide to do anything, then if anything, it just shows what we need to do next. If I go in and they're amicable, or they... I mean, for all we know, maybe they found him and they rescued him in their eyes. I don't know. I'm trying to give them the benefit of the doubt. Look, how about we just... I don't know if they can hear us. They obviously can see us. Maybe they can come out to us. And she's just got to start, like, waving at, like, the building as if, like...
So are you opening the car door to do this, or in the windows, or...
She'd probably step outside. Well, I mean, she went to look at the tracks.
Yeah, we were,
so she
we
would
were
have been
outside. We were down
anyways.
by the river
Okay.
right now, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
Give me a wits and composure, please, all of you.
Okay. Well,
3.
nada.
All right. Mr. Bilkins?
2.
Penelope, you notice it first, and then when your attention is drawn to it, Mr. Bilkins sees it as well. What looked like it was just snow, you realize some of that white, fluffy stuff, that's not snow. That's stuffing. And as a matter of fact, you realize it has a strong odor of scotch.
Oh, God. What have they done to him? I'm gonna
What's
pull out my
done to who?
phone.
What are you talking about?
Mrs. Stopico, can you not smell the scotch stuffing? And she's just
What
gonna be...
stuffing?
She's just gonna be
Holy shit.
typing...
Mr. Stevens, that is my scotch. And Mr. Stopico poured it all over himself last time we were here. And his stuffing is now all over the bank of this river.
So what is this? Political assassination?
It is what I told you about. That once Mr. Stopico told the others what we were about, they were going for him. I warned you about this, Mr. Stevens. We need to get out of here and find the others at once.
I relay what we just found over and
It's
and
happening
hope
right
that they
now.
find it. Does it look fresh? Like, is it covered in snow or is it recently on top?
There is snow around and over it, so it's that's what made it kind of hard to see. Is it's in with it, but it just has a different texture.
We,
Yeah.
sorry, I was gonna say we warded the place, correct? Did we do this?
No, you did
That
not.
was one of the plans, but we did not do that.
We never got round to it. Oh,
Yeah.
dang it. And
Bilkins is going to run over to the pile and start digging through the mess.
Okay.
I'm looking for the golden heart, whatever that is.
You find probably about, if you compressed it down together, you'd probably have a ball that would fit in both hands, you know. So it's not a lot of stuffing. And no, you do not find anything gold inside of it.
Look, do we have time to regroup? We don't know when they're coming or if they're coming. It seems like the Cabbage Patch Kids have taken over, which is a sentence I never thought I would utter.
look, we come in peace. Mrs. Pico, are you there?
Sit down. We need to get back to Mr. Stevens' car and come up with a plan. We need to come up with a plan now before they leave the warehouse, and then this problem is no longer contained to this block of area.
You hear a voice behind you. I think you should come inside. And you turn to see. I think you should come inside now.
Jesus, you dressed up in his skin. This is some Ed Gein shit. Am I right?
Yeah. Alyssa, is that you? Inside,
Yes.
Mr. Pico?
Yes, it is. I'm in
What did-
charge now.
Okay, Alyssa. Is Mr. Pico dead? I don't know how your anatomy works.
Well, let's just say he won't be a problem anymore.
Okay,
Come on,
Alyssa.
let's go discuss your surrender.
Alyssa, I want you to know right now that we aren't the whole group right now. We have backup coming. They don't know what's happening right now. And if we're not here and we're missing, they are going to bring in reinforcements. So do not do anything stupid. And I'm saying this for your behalf, not mine.
Speaking of reinforcements, Eddie's going to look around to see if they're being surrounded by any other dolls.
That's a good thought. Wits and composure, please. You may have noticed the little red dots. And you do notice there's like a little laser spot. It's amazing what you can do with life-size G.I. Joes. I think you should join me inside now.
Alyssa, as I said.
Inside now.
Okay, but I'm telling you now, they're not going to...
I don't think there's any need for all three. In fact, possibly two of us may do just as well as three. If you need to have a conversation with anyone, I am more than willing to discuss the terms of our surrender with you. As you know, I am more than amicable.
He reaches behind it, pulls out and says, "You will come with me now. Won't you?"
Alyssa? And can I see if is Lovey moving? Like, is Lovey alive?
His legs are kicking, yes.
Alyssa, I will come with you if you let Lovey go, okay?
I'll let Lovey live.
Alyssa, we arranged to come here. We actually have a plan to have yourselves almost a utopia of your own where you could do anything you want. We are
What do you
really
think,
trying to
Lovey?
make this
Would
work
you
here.
like to have one of my Cabbage Patch people inside of your skin?
What I'm trying to say here is we are really working with you. I really don't think this is the move you want to make.
You know, I have a lighter.
And
There's no need for that. I would hate to lose such a valuable member of our team. He is an excellent security guard. I am more than happy to come with you, Alyssa. However, Mr. Stevens needs to keep the car running because he's been having some issues with his alternator. And Miss Schmalls needs to assist him because we've been having some issues with the mechanics of the vehicle. So I will come with you, Alyssa, and they need to go to the vehicle.
Are they always this obnoxious? Is he
No,
the
it's
one?
just me. Everyone else is perfectly fine. And I would
Is he the
love
one
to
who
assist
sent
you,
you
Alyssa.
that message?
What?
The message. The one that made Lovey leave. Because he was told that no one was going to love him.
Wilkins? Is that true?
She doesn't know any. What are you talking about? Lovey, you know I've been supportive of you since you got here. I think you've been doing an excellent job working for us. I had nothing to do with any text message. You know how I am with technology.
Burner phone? Do you know what a burner phone is?
Boy.
I don't know about a
Oh.
burner phone.
You really think so? You don't think they were smart enough to look at the camera recordings? Did you even bother to look at the camera recordings before you left? You're much
Of
too
course we
smart
did.
for them.
He is way too smart for us. And I will be completely honest, I was not even thinking straight because I just ran outside to go get him.
Well, let's go inside, sit down, and talk like rational beings.
Well, one of us at least needs to stay with the vehicle so that the battery doesn't die. It's very cold. You saw that the river froze over. Cars have a difficulty starting in this temperatures, especially Mr. Stevens' vehicle. I don't know if you've seen it. So someone should stay with the car.
Wilkins, I don't think they have any interest in letting us get back to the vehicle.
Oh, you can sit in the vehicle if you'd like. As a matter of fact, my friend Candace will sit with you.
I was suggesting Mr. Stevens sits in the vehicle, but I am more than happy to go as well. Do you have your keys, Eddie?
Wilkins, I think it's safe to say we probably don't trust you right now.
Well, someone should go sit in the car to contact the others.
But Alyssa, just give us a moment. We'll come inside, okay? Is that all right?
Okay, but if you try to leave, you'll be dead. And she turns around and walks back into the building.
Not trying to leave, but if me, Stevens, or Lovey get hurt, you're all dead. And I'm going to message the group Alyssa wearing she's going to type it really like quickly. Alyssa has killed and is wearing Mr. Stupico's skin. Lots of life-size GI Joes. They have
With real
Lovey.
guns.
Bilkins sent the message to Lovey. Betrayed us all. This is in the group chat, by the way, so you're getting this message as well, Bilkins. Bilkins betrayed us all. Heading inside, probably to death. Thank Bilkins for this. Hope all is well on your end. XXX. Like,
I'm gonna take the time to respond. I told you so. This was never safe, and the warehouse was always dangerous.
Oh,
All caps, no exclamation points, and very poor punctuation.
Give me some advice. Come on, Magic Shovel.
Are we back in the regular realm to where we can receive these right away?
They're not.
I was going to go there and give you a moment for that. Oh, and I'm also going to take off the head because, quite frankly, it's hot in there.
I bet. They would just receive. Harley would just send them. Oh, she's trying to think of something witty. Something about the Vatican.
The wall opens up in front of you and you step out in front of the bean. It's obviously been a few hours. And then all of a sudden you have all these texts that start coming into your phone.
Uh-oh.
Please tell me that I'm seeing things and I'm not reading what I'm reading.
No, you're definitely reading it.
So the good news is we got them a home. They'll be sure happy to have it.
Yeah. So did we clarify if the animals don't actually want to live in the Fey realm, that we still have to go steal from the Vatican?
Oh no, I assume we do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I guess at this point we'll make that. We'll go ahead and make Bilkins do it.
Yeah, sure. We can make Vilkins do it if we survive. So the first thing we need to do when we go to this warehouse, I'm gonna arm us with everything we can get our hands on. We should ward it, make sure nothing can get out.
If you trust that we have the time to do so, we could go to the pawn shop real quick. Danny might have some more items or information for us.
We'll have to be real
am I
quick.
the only one who read this? Because it doesn't sound like we're going to have time to ward anything. It doesn't sound like they're exactly being patient. And I don't know about you. I don't want to leave them for any amount of time.
Yeah.
We've got what we have on us, and that's going to have to be enough.
Okay. I think if possible, we could still try to ward once we get there. I mean, from what I can tell, it seems like they're kind of trapped and they'll be in discussion. They don't necessarily know when we're coming, do they? Maybe we still have time?
Gotta know we're coming. I mean, we can try it. I don't think it's something we can count on.
Okay, well, Bilkins was the ward guy anyway, and I guess he kind of threw Lovey into this, so.
That motherfucker.
Okay.
I can't believe he did this shit. Let's get the fuck out of here. I can't believe it.
It's fine. Well, we just signed his life away to the Pope, so karma, I suppose. Let's go.
Hop in my police vehicle and siren up. We're getting there.
Warren, are you coming or are you walking back to the safe house?
I don't know what I can do for you. I mean,
you had to shoot a gun?
But I'm retired.
Okay, just because you're retired doesn't mean you forgot how to shoot a gun. You know how to shoot a gun?
I'm getting too old for this shit.
Can you fire a weapon?
Yeah, I can shoot a gun.
All right,
Could you
in the
just
back.
at least be backup, maybe? Just if we die or the stuffed animals start overrunning, or I don't know, just
all right, fine. What do you want me to do?
Well, I have a rifle and a shotgun in the back, and I have my Glock on me. So pick one, whatever you want.
Which one's the most like a musket?
Blunderbuss or flintlock musket?
Well, it was a flintlock, the last one I used.
Probably the rifle.
All right.
Let's go. Let's go.
So you speed along. You're not that far away, ideally. So you guys hear a siren making its way in.
Once we get close, I would turn it off. I don't necessarily want to alert the stuffed animals that were coming.
All right. Well, let's have you pull in by the warehouse. You see Penelope, Eddie, and Bilkins standing outside, looking a little befuddled, maybe. And you notice immediately they have laser sights targeted on their chests.
I'm gonna look for the source of those laser sights.
Do we notice that vehicle?
Oh yeah, you see them pull in the squad car.
Can we start waving them past?
Whatever you want to do.
Yeah. Bilkins is just gonna start like kind of down low, like by his side, just waving exaggeratedly.
Do I see that?
Of course, yeah. There's no reason this would be hard to see. You're in a parking lot.
All right. Guess I would be scanning the area as I move through in the squad car. Then I can drive under some duress. Looks like they're under a lot of stress right now.
Yeah, and are we just gonna fucking leave them there?
We should park farther away. Maybe we can approach then.
Yeah, and none of those sights that are on their chests are going to end up on us while we're walking up.
That was part of the goal. You still got a good eye, old man?
Yeah, look out for the tiger! And here's a thud. And you are looking at a stuffed tiger on the hood of your patrol car looking in the window at you.
This is making the Vatican seem very exciting and easy later.
I can't wait for the Vatican, honestly.
Oh, it'll
Just gonna be great. It's gonna be great.
Tiger, are you okay? Sorry.
Let's just stop the vehicle.
Yeah.
Sure.
I think they know we're here.
What was your first clue?
Probably a solid bet.
I just have one question about how this rifle works.
Yeah.
Where's the push rod for loading it?
It's a bolt action.
A what?
A bolt action rifle. So the action is you load the rounds in, you pull after each shot to release the round, and then push it back to put in the new one.
Okay.
Oh god. Do you just want to lock? It's loaded, and you just pull the trigger. Not even a safety on it.
All right. Well, I'd say we go with our escort. Yeah. Now, before we get out of the vehicle, you guys made a deal.
Yeah.
I know it looks dark. Don't give up yet.
Yeah.
Look,
Never.
there are what? 6 people in your group? How often do the 6 of you agree on anything?
Literally never.
You told me there were over 100 stuffed in there. I don't think they're going to all agree either. Don't do anything rash. You've got something you want to try and do. I think it's admirable. Personally, I'd firebomb the damn place. But I think it's noble what you're trying to do.
We're going to save who we can.
Yep. And I'll try to live long enough to bury all of you who don't make it.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
And I will park the car.
And Warren will open the door and get out. The tiger will walk its way up onto the top of the car and just watching you, keeping its distance. But you can hear as the metal in its claws click across and scrape on the metal of the car roof.
He got new claws, it seems.
Mm.
Don't scratch the paint, please.
We'll get its insurance later. That was a bad joke. Let's go.
And I guess you're going to walk up to the others?
Mm-hmm.
Penelope probably would have taken Eddie's hand after the hashtag Bilkins betrayal and bad memories of warehouses. She probably would have been like a lot closer to him, away from Bilkins, and like kind of like, oh no, just with the massive laser aiming at her chest.
You've got 5 on the roof, 2 off of the parking garage over there. And one of them is down in whatever little hole that is. Like a sewer pipe of some kind.
So 8 snipers, 5 flechette rounds. Not sure if I could
Look,
get the ones on the roof.
Don't. Look, get the bad guy soliloquizing. They do it every time. Get them talking. Then you've got the advantage because they're too busy being full of themselves. But again, don't give up. You've got a good plan. Let's see if you can get them to buy it.
Thanks, Warren.
I'm just glad I'm not on that damn contract. You guys are idiots.
I'm sorry. Did you say we're on a contract now?
We'll talk about it later.
I'm really
so
glad to see you guys.
You found some magical contract that's
We
going to
have a
rescue
home.
us from this
We have a
situation.
Tokens, now ain't the fucking time.
Sorry, there's been a laser pointed.
No,
at
no,
me
no.
for past
Shut
10
the
minutes,
fuck up. It's not the
and
time.
my rescuers just
I don't
just
give a
drove
shit,
past
Bilkins. Shut up.
straight into a tiger.
I slapped Bilkins. Now look, now not the fucking time.
Yeah, I'm gonna
I've
try to
been real
grab you by
calm
the
and
scruff
patient.
of your neck.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. What do we need to roll for that?
You're
is
actually going to try and grapple him?
This is a good impression
Yeah,
to be
yeah.
making on the stuffed animals that we're about to try to friendly
I know,
make a deal with.
Strength and brawl, and Anthony, your resistance can be either strength and brawl or strength and athletics.
I like the G.I. Joes standing on the roof like, oh, they're going to just kill each other.
That's easy. I just everyone else out.
How long do you think before they draw on each other and blow each other away?
Oh my god. Okay.
Penelope's just like to Eddie.
Wow.
I think
I got one.
Fucked.
So Bilkins goes to grab you by the scruff of the neck. Mr. Reed, what do you do to dissuade him from that action?
I think I'm gonna duck under it. Put my arm, grab his wrist, and put my hand on the back of his shoulder blade. Just not now. All right? We're gonna deal with this like good people, and we're gonna treat these fucking beings with respect, and we're gonna get through this alive. All right?
Mr. Reed, you don't know what you've walked in on. You don't know what I've done for you. How dare you raise your hands to me?
Oh yeah,
Little boy,
I know.
I should have failed you when I had the chance.
and you didn't
Stay out of
because
my
I have
way.
the best fucking grades in your class. I'm the only one who gives a shit, Bilkins.
You were a
No one else
suck-up.
cares.
You barely did anything.
Barely did anything.
Did it
I was
because
the
of
one.
pity.
Enough. Enough. Both of you. We are in a situation of life and death right now. Now is not the time to be fighting about grades. Mr. Bilkins, you have fought us every step of the way. Please, just sit tight right now, okay? Until we are out of the situation where we could die, okay?
Let's go
Have
inside.
at it then. Go for it. Go talk to them.
All of us
That's the
together.
goal.
I'll be out here. See how it goes. Good luck.
Oh, you'll be out here where you can cause more problems on your own? Your experiment's gonna pan out this time?
You don't know anything about my experiments, Tony. You don't know what I've done.
You're right.
I was right. I warned you not to come back here. I warned you we're going to take care of Mr. Sipico. Did you listen? No. And now we're back here and in danger, and I have a laser sight on my chest. Like I said from the beginning.
Wilkins, why are we here now and not 3 hours later when we would be more prepared? Oh, that's right, because we were looking for Lovey because you made him run
because
away.
you wanted to follow Lovey. You wanted to follow the stuffed animal security guard.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now I'm going
our
to go
friend.
in and try and save his life, our lives, and potentially the world's. You're welcome to wait out here.
Can I knock this guy
I
out
will.
yet?
I will wait out here. Good luck in there.
I mean, I have a shovel.
You can always make an effort to do that. Absolutely.
Oh, Eddie was saying that out loud.
Well, let's hold on to that idea. But for right now, we have to be the real people, you know, Bilkins, the real people.
I care about the real people, and the real people are standing outside the warehouse with me.
All right,
not
enough.
inside, full of stuffing.
Enough, man. For the love of God, let's get this over with. You can stay out here if you want. We're going in.
Wilkins, if you really cared about us, you...
I don't really care about your opinion, Miss Phillips.
Eddie, you can hit him.
Nice. Eddie goes in to try and hit him with.
He says nice. Cool, sweet.
I'm gonna hold the PvP here. And a small figure, about 2 feet tall, kind of makes its way out. Big stuffed teddy bear. We would like for all of you to come in, please. It's story time. We'd like to talk to you.
Thank you. Sorry for the hold up. We'll be right in. I'm really sorry.
All right. Just to let you know, I will be your counselor. My name is Ruxpin. You can call me Theodore.
Theodore.
What is your position?
I'm counsel.
Oh. I'm a counselor myself. It's nice to meet you. And she'll shake. What is he?
He's got a big stuffed arm, and he'll. Very pleased to meet you, Miss
Phillips.
Phillips.
Harley is my first name.
Oh. Pleasure to meet you, Harley. It's story time. Sorry.
Oh no,
programming dies hard.
Story time's quite okay.
Let's get a move on then. After you, Theodore.
And you will be escorted inside, all of you. And as you make your way into the area before where there was just a table at the end where Mr. Stupico had sat, it now looks like a courtroom. Mr. Stupico sits at the judge's seat. There's a couple of tables down front, and a very large jury of 100 or more stuffed. And that is where we are going to end this evening.
Oh! No, we played for 3 more hours.
I also hope to God that the stuffed beings know that isn't Mr. Stupico. Like, I hope they're aware it's not Alyssa.
Yeah.
I'll be furious if they
but
don't.
Alyssa's the new Mr. Stupico.
Everyone
That,
who's
that whole
good.
session, real roller coaster.
Oh, goodness gracious.
That was good. That was a lot of fun.
everyone who survived the evening, please take a beat. Please take a beat for the excellent RP, except for Seiji Weiji, because she doesn't get any RP. Oh, she's not even got her mic on, so she's not even making comments.
Oh, yes, I do.
Oh, she's making comments in the chat.
Talking shit over here.
You can join us if you'd like to. On
You. Does that mean I get a beat too?
Yes.
Yeah,
I'll
in the year
survive.
2020, you do.
why
Just gotta
is
wait
your-
like 25 centuries or so, and yeah, you'll get that beat.
All right, let me get that camera up there. There we go. Viewers, please take this time to vote for 2 players that you believe deserve an extra beat. This helps them get experience and improve their characters. So just put 2 names in the chat, in the Twitch chat, and I will tally them up at the end of the session and determine who gets those extra points. So please vote. If you don't vote, they don't get them. Sage, since you're a guest this evening, who would you like to give a beat to?
Well, I can't give it to my arch nemesis Warren because he doesn't exist. So either my partner in crime, Anthony, or my other partner, Rebecca, for slamming the door. 100% for slamming the door, Rebecca.
All right. All right.
Of course, you are welcome.
Excellent. Rebecca, who would you like to give a beat to?
Definitely Anthony for like really standing up to Bilkins after the betrayal is known, and that's the first time I've really seen Anthony like super angry.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I really enjoyed that.
Chops his anger so well. It's so fun.
I'm waiting for the Hulk line now. That's my secret. I'm always
always
angry. Chops, who would you like to give a beat to?
Oh, it's got to be Bilkins the Betrayer.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I don't like that moniker.
Well, you know, like it or not.
the Bilkins betrayal.
I don't like you see it.
I mean, it's consistent. Bilkins is Bilkins. What can I say?
All right. Bilkins?
I'll give it to Eddie. It was fun chasing down through the snow.
Lovey. All
Yeah,
right.
it was a good time.
Okay. I'll take it.
All right. Eddie?
I'll give it to Penelope. I liked her continued role play of her concern for Lovey, and also that whole confrontation about going into the warehouse. Learning from her mistakes.
I'm sitting here in this damn bunny suit. Go into the warehouse.
Yeah.
I think it worked out well. Penelope?
I'm gonna give it to Harley. I really enjoy her character. I think she's very sweet, and I think honestly, it's very relatable. Just the making jokes in like trying times and stuff like that. And no matter what's going on, she's always got a smile, even though it's like a forced one, you know. But she's trying her hardest, you know. And I like how she's like, well, I'm not a full pacifist now, you know. I'm doing things. So yeah, I'll give it to Harley for this session. She did awesome.
Thank
Awesome.
you.
And Harley, you have the hardest part now because everybody's been nice to everybody, and the only one who hasn't gotten anything is Sage, but she doesn't count anyway.
Aha. It's not actually hard for me because Anthony was willing to give up a limb alongside Harley, and I really
That is
respect
true.
that.
That is true.
So, as a brother and no arms, you get a
I
beat
had
from me.
no idea where that was going to go because I didn't know she was going to say, you know, it'll cost you an arm and a leg. I was not expecting it to take that route.
Can I do the
And I'm sure you
pregnancy
certainly
or
weren't
something? What
expecting
the
us to
fuck?
say, "Oh, okay."
Oh man. Oh man. You guys are awesome. I look forward to next week, which, depending on what happens, could be the final of season 1 of Stuffed. We'll see where it goes. It depends on how things turn out. But I think you're at the crux that something's going to happen. There's going to have to be a resolution. I would like to thank Chael so much for joining us and reprising her character Sage. A Sage, not the Sage, but a Sage.
It was pretty close.
Yeah, somewhere there.
It's the same person.
So, and tomorrow night we will be on McStabber Studios with the Black Death Chronicle, where you'll see several of these people, including Sage, as they try to make up for the horrible mistakes they have recently made in the face of a very powerful mage who, doesn't like other people with magic. So that's going to be an interesting one. So, and then Wednesday over there, we have Wraith Life Derailed. We're all dead, you know.
It's a good episode, by the way.
Yeah,
It's a real good one.
It is. So, then I believe on Saturday we're not back with Ishville yet, are we? Nope.
Not quite.
So,
We're on break.
Saturday. Yep.
Not quite.
And on Sunday
Next
we
week.
have Windy City After Dark, which is another place where you see ya boy Twitch giving his informational dump of data at the beginning. And again, check the schedule once we go offline here. The schedule will come up, and look at the things that are on the Onyx Path, because they've got some great streams on here. Vorpal Tales does a great job. Chaz with Become as Gods, a Scion game on Wednesdays. They got some really good stuff coming on here. So please take a look at the schedule. Don't forget the Indiegogo for Victorian Mage. Be sure to look into that. And I know my good friend Chops has something he wants to say. Does anybody else have any other announcements or things they'd like to say?
Just thank you for having me. You guys rock.
Oh,
Thank you for being here.
And Chael also is in D&D games on Lawful Stupid RPG. So it's another one to look at. All right. Chael, if you would, please.
Chops, you mean
Chael,
chops.
did I? Okay,
Hey,
look.
it's fine.
It's like 10 Kelvin inside this thing. Okay.
So
Right.
I want to remind everybody, mental health is a very serious thing. And no matter what it is you're dealing with, what you're facing, there are people available to talk to you. There's hotlines out there if you can't talk to somebody close to you in your life. But don't be afraid to reach out to your friends or family either if you can, because they do care about you and they would rather hear about what's happening in your life than hear about some terrible thing having happened to you. It can be hard to reach out sometimes. I know personally for me, there was pride, there was fear, there was an understanding of, well, I don't want my burden to be someone else's burden. Well, the problem was I was being a burden on people anyway, because they were having to deal with my bad moods. They were having to deal with the pressure that I was shifting off and onto them. So try and talk to somebody, because at the end of the day, it's their choice whether or not it's a burden for them to hear what you're saying, not yours. And even if you feel like you're equipped to handle it by yourself, because we all feel like that sometimes, it's okay still to ask for help, because it's hard enough trying to walk through it on your own. Why not give somebody else some space to help you, even if you feel like you can do it on your own?
Thank you very much. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. Thank you for voting in the Twitch chat over there, and players. Have a wonderful evening, a good week, and we will see you here next week, along with Lovey, for Chapter 10 of Stuff. Good night, everybody. Good night. Good night.